crying out loud. I never know if it's going to be upside down or sideways. This is another installment of the Rip Van Winkle story. There is, as we've been through the introduction of Joe Biden into the plot line, and we've also introduced the whole idea of Joe Biden using contracts as a way to manipulate people. So there's Rip Van Winkle as a kid running into Joe Biden, and later on in life, when Rip Van Winkle goes on vacation, the third parties at the restaurant and the bar that he goes to get him really drunk and get Rip Van Winkle to sign his name on, one sheet of paper at the bottom that is signing for what could be called a mountain of paperwork in the room. Okay, on the other side of the room on the table, there is this huge thing. So they get Rip Van Winkle to sign this huge contract that is really evil. And Rip Van Winkle wakes up and he tells people his dreams. Even some of them are real and some of them are dreams, but he tells an important person that he had a dream that he was so sure was real to where he signed a document, and it was evil. Well, okay, it turns out that like Iran is behind it, like China is involved in this, like it's all sorts of theft on a grand level, and a con to con everybody through one guy, Rip Van Winkle. They're going to con Rip Van Winkle in order to control him so that they can lie to everyone who would ever meet him or come across him and get them to believe it. Right. Well, the story is called Rip Van Winkle and the Good Guerilla, because the person of interest that Rip Van Winkle told about this dream where he signed this paperwork contacted an individual and told them about it. And one of the things that this individual came up with as an idea, after surmising as much of the contract as possible through past history with these contracts as to how they would go about it, and then, confirming it later on, this individual gets a younger female gorilla, and it imprints Rip Van Winkle onto this female gorilla to where the gorilla believes that Rip Van Winkle is her son. Okay? And things are done to where subconsciously with the gorilla believes and will protect Rip Van Winkle. And how there's a reoccurring theme with a life insurance policy that was in this contract. And there's more. There's other mountainous contracts too that come in later. But the first one, the life insurance policy, is they're going to try to kill Rip Van Winkle, and they always get a shot because they've figured out to where how to do it, to where they achieve passing through a loophole in the law to where they would not be able to be prosecuted for it at all. They'd be totally within the bounds of the law, even though they were going to kill Rip Van Winkle, and what happened led to death. It's a catch-22 thing. To where some Illuminati people, the grandfather and all that, are watching Rip Van Winkle and will bring in the gorilla, because the only way for them to get at Rip Van Winkle is when he's sleeping, right? So they have to break into his apartment or wherever he is when he's sleeping to then activate him, activate his subconscious personality, and put him through stuff that he doesn't understand because he's not fully there, and he's given bad information and so on. To where a precedent is set to where when they break in to do Rip Van Winkle wrong and create a situation that would lead to his death, the Guerilla is there in the darkness. Okay, to where the thieves and everybody who get, they get paid or whatever, they get accolades for doing it and rubs on the back, who go in there end up getting mauled and ripped apart by a gorilla. So that's all, and there's more to the story, but the gorilla plays this awesome role. When I finally write this book, it's going to be a bestseller. I think all the liberals are going to read it. And then I'll go on to Hollywood, and I'll become Hollywood elite. And then I'll be international globalist superstar. And this is my plan. After that, after I'm in, well, then I can detonate a nuclear explosive at the heart of the beast and destroy the whole cancerous thing. A little political humor. Maybe it was inappropriate. Okay. Everybody have a good night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. God bless.